Sad ending. Kody Brown and David Woolley divorce leaves fans in tears. Kody Brown has been through an incredible journey over the past few years, and her recent comments about heartbreak have sparked both curiosity and concern among her fans. At 53 years old, the Sister Wives star has seen her life change in dramatic ways since she chose to walk away from her marriage to Kody Brown after nearly 3 decades together. For so long, Kody was seen as the loyal, easygoing wife who always put her family first, but her decision in 2021 to end her 27-year marriage to Kody proved that she had a strength and independence many never expected. Her willingness to put herself and her happiness first shocked many, but it also inspired those who had followed her story for years. When Kody finally left Kody, it felt like the end of an era, not just for her but also for the Sister Wives franchise as a whole. She had always been one of the most nurturing and family-oriented wives, the one who cared for the children when the other adults were working and the one who quietly tried to hold the family together through turbulent times. Watching her finally say she had had enough of feeling unloved and unseen gave fans a new level of respect for her. While she admitted she had worked hard to save the marriage, it became clear that Kody had long since stopped prioritizing her, and she reached the point where she knew her own happiness mattered. What many found inspiring was not just that Kody ended her marriage, but that she allowed herself to open her heart again. Divorce can be devastating, especially after decades with the same partner, but Kody refused to let that loss define her future. She began dating not long after her split, and that willingness to take another chance at love resonated with viewers. In 2022, she met David Woolley, and their romance seemed to blossom almost overnight. What started as a new relationship quickly grew into something much deeper, and fans got to witness that joy during season 19 of Sister Wives. Seeing Kody laugh, smile, and radiate a new kind of confidence with David by her side was a powerful reminder that happiness can come after heartbreak. Still, the speed of their relationship did raise some eyebrows. Kody and David dated for less than a year before moving in together, which was surprising for a woman who had always been portrayed as traditional and reserved. Adding to that, her youngest daughter, Truly, was still living at home, so the adjustment must have been significant for her as well. David, a widower, came with a large family of his own, including 8 children and 10 grandchildren. Suddenly, Kody found herself not just in a new romance, but also in the midst of a huge blended family. For someone who had spent her life in a large polygamist household, maybe the adjustment wasn't as shocking as it might seem, but it was still a big leap. The relationship escalated quickly from there. David proposed, Kody said yes, and by October 2023, they were husband and wife. Their wedding was a grand celebration, and unlike her marriage to Kody, it was completely her own. Instead of a modest, family-only affair shared with other wives, this wedding was about Kody and David, their children, and their love story. Kody wore an elegant off-the-shoulder gown, proudly showing off her matching tattoo with David, while he opted for a sleek black suit. The ceremony was captured for a 2-part special that aired in January, allowing fans to witness a very different kind of milestone in her life. It felt like the fairy tale ending she had long deserved after years of struggle and heartbreak with Kody. David himself seemed to be the complete opposite of Kody in many ways. He was quieter, less dramatic, and not at all interested in polygamy. That alone must have been a relief for Kody, who had always expressed discomfort with sharing her husband. After years of feeling like she was never a priority, she finally had a partner who was all hers. Still, even with all the joy surrounding her wedding, some couldn't help but wonder if things had moved too quickly. After spending nearly 3 decades in a plural marriage, many thought Kody might have benefited from more time on her own, to rediscover who she was outside of being a wife and mother. Yet Kody seemed eager to embrace her new chapter, and fans hoped it would be everything she had been waiting for. Then, as the new year arrived, Kody posted a reflection on 2024 that raised questions. On January 1, 2025, she shared a recap on Instagram filled with photos and videos highlighting her experiences over the past year. The caption, however, caught attention. She wrote, "What a year it has been. From unbelievable heartbreak to unforgettable adventures, this year has been all about growth, joy in hardship, and finding the courage to choose happiness. While the message sounded like one of resilience, the mention of heartbreak immediately stood out. After seeing Christine finally find happiness with David, fans worried that her words might suggest trouble in her new marriage. At first glance, it was easy to jump to that conclusion, but the context of 2024 paints a different picture. In March of that year, the Brown family suffered a devastating loss with the passing of 25-year-old Garrison Brown, the son of Kody and Janelle. Although Garrison was not Christine's biological child, she had helped raise him from the time he was born. When the children were young, Kody and Janelle both worked full-time, leaving much of the childcare in Christine's hands. As a result, she developed a special bond with many of Janelle's kids, including Garrison. His death was a tragedy that rocked the entire family, and for Christine, it was a deeply personal loss. The grief of losing someone she had helped raise, alongside watching her close friend and former sister-wife Janelle go through such unimaginable pain, surely weighed heavily on Christine. Her words about heartbreak likely reflected this loss more than anything about her marriage. Survivor's guilt is a real and painful phenomenon, where those left behind struggle with feelings of guilt for experiencing happiness after losing a loved one. Christine may have had wonderful moments in 2024, from her wedding to David to adventures with her family, but Garrison's death overshadowed those joys in many ways. This helps explain the dual tone of her reflection, acknowledging both heartbreak and adventure, grief and growth. It wasn't about her marriage falling apart, but rather about how complicated life can feel when joy and loss coexist. She may have found happiness with David, but she was also carrying grief for a young man she loved and considered part of her family. Supporting Janelle, who has remained one of Christine's closest allies, only deepened the emotional toll. Christine's journey continues to resonate because it mirrors real life in many ways. Happiness is rarely unbroken, and even when someone finds new love, past connections and shared losses remain deeply impactful. For Christine, her ability to acknowledge the heartbreak while also celebrating her growth shows that she's learned how to carry both at once. Instead of her words being a sign of trouble with David, they are likely a testament to the complexity of her year and her resilience in the face of pain. As she moves forward in 2025, it seems clear that Christine remains committed to her new life with David while honoring the connections of her past. She has shown strength in choosing happiness, even when it isn't easy, and her honesty about the heartbreak she has experienced only makes her story more relatable. Fans may continue to worry whenever her words suggest sadness, but Christine's path shows that heartbreak and joy can exist side by side, and that both can shape a life worth living.